Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my first looks and my early thoughts on the Week 16 slate on DraftKings. We do have a 12-game slate this week, so a lot of games on this main slate. This is obviously not my full picks video. I will be uploading that on Thursday. This is just going to be me going through each position, talking about guys that stand out to me. I will actually be building a lineup today, talking about the process of building a cash game lineup for this week's slate, sort of a dummy lineup that we can start off the week with. I know Al Smizzle does these same type of videos, and I don't want to say that I'm copying his idea, but I definitely got this idea from him. All credit goes to Al Smizzle. He makes great content. You guys should definitely check him out if you aren't already. He makes great fantasy football content. He does very similar videos to these where he goes and gives his early thoughts and builds a sort of a cash game dummy lineup that he starts off the week with. Obviously, we are not giving you these lineups to play. These are not lineups you should be playing. These are just lineups to start the week off with. And this video is more about me talking about players I like, at least that stand out to me, and talking about the process of building a cash game lineup. If you want to see how my actual lineup finishes out and how the lineup I play on Sunday finishes out, I do upload recap videos on Monday. They usually go up before these, so if you want to check out my Week 15 recap video, if you didn't watch it already, make sure you check that video out. But yeah, guys, starting off at quarterback, if we were to build a cash game lineup today, this is always a position you want to go cheap in cash games. So usually looking for options like sub 6K that we can target. I was quickly skimming over the slate before I did start recording. I didn't see a lot of really cheap options that I liked. We do have sort of a punt option we could target. We did get news like right before I started recording. That Drew Stanton's actually going to be starting for the Cardinals this week instead of Blaine Gabbert. And Drew Stanton is very, very cheap. I believe he's $4,500. I was seeing him earlier. Yeah, he is $4,500. He's playing at home against the Giants. Drew Stanton actually might be an option we can target in cash games. Obviously, since we're paying this price tag for Drew Stanton, that's going to allow us to get expensive receivers, expensive running backs as well. And at $4,500, I would say you need about 12, 13 DraftKings points in cash games for him to return value on the salary. And going up against the Giants, it's probably likely that Drew Stanton gets there. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start off with Drew Stanton. Obviously, this might not be the quarterback I'll wind up playing. We'll get news throughout the week. Maybe value will open up to where we don't have to go this cheap at quarterback. But starting off with Stanton, that allows us to get so much. That frees us so much salary to where we can fit in some expensive studs at running back and receiver, which is always something I'd like to do at cash games. So looking at running back, usually want to pay up here. We got some expensive options we can target. Obviously, Todd Gurley's up top. He's the most expensive running back on the slate. $9,100 going up against the Titans. I would say if I'm going to pay up for running back, just early looks, he's probably the guy I want. We do have other options we can target, like Alvin Kamara. He's in a really good spot against the Falcons. We know the Falcons do struggle to pass catching backs. These teams did face off 2 weeks ago. This was the game that Alvin Kamara got hurt. Only put up 5.7 DraftKings points. He only played like half a quarter, if that. But he was killing it just to start off the game. I know he played like 3 plays and already had 5 DraftKings points after like 3 plays, and then he got hurt. If Kamara wouldn't have got hurt in that game, he probably would have absolutely went off. So he could definitely be an option we can go to at $8,300. But for cash games, we want the workload. Kamara obviously isn't a guy that has a heavy workload. He only gets about 15 touches a game. Whereas guys like Todd Gurley, even Mark Ingram, I'd prefer Gurley for paying up. But Gurley, this guy just gets like so much work, 20, 25 touches a game. He has such a high ceiling. He has a high floor. Obviously, that's something we want in cash games. He showed the ceiling last week against Seattle, putting up 48 DraftKings points in 24 touches. 152 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown as well. So Gurley possesses a ceiling, which is something we want in cash. Obviously, he has the floor as well. He's been so consistent this year. So we're going to start off with Gurley at $9,100. That's going to definitely drop our remaining salary down, so we're going to have to find some cheap options. But if I'm paying up at running back, I would say he's the guy I want. Ezekiel Elliott will be coming back from suspension, but he's $8K going up against the Seahawks. I don't know if I want to play Zeke in his first game back from suspension when I can get Gurley for just a little bit more, who I'm just a lot more confident in. So paying up running back, I think I'll be going with Gurley. Do have options in this 7K range we can target, like Leonard Fournette against the 49ers. Could be a really interesting option. Melvin Gordon against the Jets, another really interesting option. Kenyon Drake's got his price tag risen a ton, up to $7,100. Not sure if I want to go to him. At $7,100, we can get Melvin Gordon, Fournette for just a little bit more. But Drake is definitely a guy we're going to have to consider if Damian Williams is out again. He's just been getting so much work with Williams out, been getting all the rushing attempts, been involved in the passing game. 16 rushing attempts last week, 6 catches as well, 23 DraftKings points. So even with the price increase, we're probably still going to want to target Kenyon Drake going up against the Chiefs this week. But maybe if we're looking for an RB2, we want to go a little bit cheaper here. We might actually have a really cheap value option this week. I did get news right before I started recording that Capri Bibbs, I'm not sure if that's how you say his name, but the coach for the Redskins came out and said that he is expected to get more work for these last 2 weeks of the season. Washington, they're pretty much out of the playoff run, so they don't really have much to play for. And Bibbs was involved in the passing game in their last game against Arizona. Got 4 catches for 47 yards and a touchdown. Also got 2 rushing attempts as well. Obviously, 6 touches is not a lot. But he is expected to get more work this week. He is only 3,500. This is a play that we're obviously going to have to keep our eye on throughout the week. Not a player just locking in. But if we do go with Bibbs, if he does wind up being a really good value play this week, you go with him, you go with Stanton. That's going to leave you a ton of salary to fit in. Maybe another stud at receiver if you want to pay up there, or even play in another stud running back at the flex position. So going with Bibbs, not saying he's this great value option, but if he does wind up being a good play, 3,500 could definitely be a guy we plug in as an RB2 to where we can fit in maybe a stud or two that we want to go to. So looking at receiver, usually like to pay up here because we do have some good options here that possess high ceilings and floors. Julio Jones going up against the Saints. Not sure if I want to go there. Tough matchup with Marshawn Lattimore. Julio only had 5 catches for 98 yards, so that's not the game we want from Julio. He still did see 11 targets, but if we're going to pay nearly $8K for Julio, we want that big game where he puts up over 20 DraftKings points. Not sure if he gets there against Lattimore. I don't know if Julio's the guy we want to jam in here. A really interesting option that stood out to me, 6,800 going quarterback to receiver, going with the combo. Larry Fitz, 6,800 going up against the Giants. Might be targeting Larry Fitz this week. The targets have always been there for this guy. He's been so consistent, and he's playing at home this week. Larry Fitz does have really nice home road splits, does play well at home. And like I said, the targets have been there. We know Stanton will probably target Larry Fitzgerald a ton. So if we were to go with Larry Fitz at 6,800, maybe as our wide receiver 1, getting that quarterback to receiver combo does provide us with some upside. Won't cost us that much salary either. That still leaves us $52.20 remaining per player. So maybe let's look for a defense here. I'm not going to talk too much about this position. Just try and find like a cheap defense. Maybe a defense playing at home against a bad quarterback. That's usually where I like to go at defense. So you got the Bears at home against the Cleveland. They could be a good option. The Chiefs are playing at home against smoking Jay Cutler. They could be a good option. If we were looking at 3K, we want to find a defense maybe that's facing a bad quarterback, maybe playing at home. Usually like to go that route. I don't see a lot of really cheap defenses like sub 3K. So the two that really stand out to me here, obviously if we're not paying up for like the Jaguars, you got the Bears at 3,500 against the Browns, and you got the Chiefs 3,300 against the Dolphins. For now, let's plug in the Bears at 3,500. Always like to target defenses against the Browns because their offense is so bad. So plugging in the Bears frees us up some salary. Now let's look at some tight ends, see if we can go a little bit cheaper here, and that will free us up some salary as well, so we can fit in maybe an expensive receiver or two. Tight end is usually the position I like to go cheap as well. Quarterback, tight end, and defense, usually positions I like to save that. So obviously we're probably not going to be playing Gronk or Kelsey in cash games at least. They're good tournament plays, but in cash games, I like to go a little bit cheaper at tight end. Like I said earlier, I was skimming through the slate earlier before I started recording. There was a cheap tight end that really stood out to me. Vernon Davis, just 3,400 going up against Denver. This is a good matchup for Vernon Davis. Denver is not good defensively against the tight end. They are one of the worst defensive teams against the tight end. You can see just in his last 4 games that the production has not been there for Vernon Davis. Just in his last 4 games, 1, 2, 7, and 4 targets, 0, 3, 10, and 2 DraftKings points. So he has been very inconsistent. But he is only 3,400. He is in a really good spot going up against Denver. So we could wind up going to Vernon Davis. You got Ricky Seals-Jones there as well at 3,500. I did play Ricky Seals-Jones last week, week 15. With Jermaine Gresham out, I thought Ricky Seals-Jones was going to have a very nice game. Did not wind up happening. Only got 2 catches for 11 yards. Did see 6 targets, though. This is a very good matchup against the Giants. So we could play Stanton, Ricky Seals-Jones, and Larry Fitzgerald. Just go with the full onslaught. The Giants are not a good defensive team. Definitely a team we want to pick on. They just gave up 4 touchdowns to Nick Foles, week 15. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if Stanton has a very nice game, and some of these receivers and tight ends do very well as well. So let's say we plug in Ricky Seals-Jones. Obviously, guys, this is not my full lineup. This is not the lineup that I'm going to be playing come Sunday. But this is just a start, just giving my early thoughts and sort of my process of building my dummy lineup to start off for the week. So we're going to go with Stanton, Fitz, and Ricky Seals-Jones. They're all in good matchups, and they're very cheap as well. And when we plug in RSJ, that leaves us 63-66 remaining remaining per player for 2 receivers and a flex. So we probably have enough salary to where we can fit in one of these 7K receivers if we want to. We got Keenan Allen up here against the Jets, but he is currently questionable. Not sure if we'll be able to go there. Michael Thomas going up against the Falcons could be an interesting play. Brandon Cooks just 7K against the Bills. If Chris Hogan misses this game, Brandon Cooks could be a guy we want to target. Maybe if we want to look for some mid-tier options, we don't want to pay up there. 6,300, Jarvis Landry against the Chiefs could be a really interesting play. The targets have consistently been there for Jarvis Landry, so that's obviously what we want in cash games. 9, 6, 8, 13 targets last 4 games. Been really consistent, 15, 11, 24, 19 DraftKings points. Last week against Buffalo, he was only 1 yard shy of the 100-yard bonus, so should have had an even better game than he did. And the Chiefs' defense has not been good lately. Their corners have not been playing well. Their pass defense has not been good lately. So let's go ahead and plug in Jarvis Landry, 6,300, see what that leaves us remaining per player. It leaves us 6,400 remaining per player for a wide receiver and a flex. So if we want to fit in another stud running back, we could play them at the flex if we want to play Kareem Hunt or like Leonard Fournette. If we want to play Melvin Gordon in the flex, we could do that. Leonard Fournette's definitely a guy I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Obviously, since he's questionable, we're going to have to track him throughout the day or throughout the week, see if he plays this week. I'm pretty sure Jacksonville did lock up their playoff spot, so they don't really need to rush Fournette back in there. But if he does play this week against the 49ers, that is a great matchup. Leonard Fournette could definitely be a guy we target. I doubt I'm going to be going back to Ivory. I haven't even looked at Ivory's price. I'll go ahead and look at it now. He's 4K this week against San Francisco. That is a great matchup. He got 17 carries in a great matchup against Houston and only put up 42 yards. I did play him week 15, but he did see a price decrease if Leonard Fournette doesn't play again. We could go to Chris Ivory. We could take Capri Bibbs out, and put Ivory in there. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's say Leonard Fournette's out. We want to take Bibbs out. And if we plug in Ivory, that's obviously going to loosen our salary just a little bit, $500 difference. That leaves us $6,150 remaining per player. If we want to go to like Melvin Gordon or Kenyon Drake, we probably will have enough salary to do that. I know Melvin Gordon is coming off a very nice game Saturday. I believe the Chargers play Saturday. Yeah, against Kansas City, Melvin Gordon had a very nice game. 78 rushing yards. Also got 8 targets, 6 catches for 91 yards, and a touchdown. Had 28.9 DraftKings points. This is definitely a good matchup for him against the Jets. So let's say we plug Melvin Gordon in at the flex. We can see how much that leaves us for receiver. That leaves us 5,100. Let's see if there's any receivers here that we want to go to. I don't really like a lot of these options like in this price range. We might can downgrade at defense if we want to go off the Bears. I don't know if I'll be on Rashard Matthews against the Rams. Not the best matchup. Tough matchup for Robbie Anderson against the Chargers. Jamison Crowder against Denver could be interesting. Crowder does play out of the slot. But Denver does have Chris Harris. He's very good at defending the slot, so I don't know if we want to go there. Crowder has been consistent lately, though, but like I said, that's a tough matchup against Denver. So let's say we downgrade defense. Let's see if we can downgrade a defense, find a little bit of a cheaper defense, and then we can upgrade that final receiver slot. So I talked about the Chiefs, 3,300. I don't think that's going to free us up enough salary. That's only a $200 difference. So let's see if we can find a cheaper defense. We got the Panthers at 3,100, playing at home against Jameis Winston, who we know will turn the ball over. Let's see if we plug in the Panthers defense, see how much that leaves us. It leaves us 5,500 remaining at receiver. See if there's any receivers in this price range. Demaryius Thomas against Washington. That's a tough matchup for Thomas. Don't know if I want to go there. Cooper Kupp against Tennessee. That's a good matchup for Cooper Kupp, but I don't think he had a very nice game. No, he didn't have that good of a game at all. Robert Woods did come back for the Rams last week. Cooper Kupp only got 2 catches for 21 yards. So I don't know if we want to go to him at 5,300. The guy I really liked in this price tier was Mohamed Sanu at 5,700. We are $200 short of getting him, though. But he is in a great spot against the Saints. If Marshawn Lattimore is going to be on Julio Jones all game, that's going to leave Sanu in a good matchup. He did play well against this team last week. Got 8 targets, 6 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown. 20 DraftKings points last week against the Saints. So let's say we plug in Sanu. That's obviously going to be $200 short. We can see if we can downgrade a defense again. Maybe go 2,900, see if there's a defense 2,900 or cheaper we like. The Lions are getting to face the Bengals, even though they're playing on the road. We know the Bengals, they gave up this year. They don't really care anymore. Their head coach is planning to leave. They don't have any chance of getting in the playoffs. The Bengals just don't really care anymore. I talked about them in my recap video, one of the reasons why I chose the Vikings defense for Week 15. So let's say we did that. We get off the Panthers defense, go to the Lions at 2,900. That does leave us enough salary. And that looks like a pretty solid dummy lineup to start the week off. Drew Stanton, Todd Gurley, Chris Ivory, Larry Fitz, Jarvis Landry, Mohamed Sanu, RSJ, Melvin Gordon, and the Lions defense. Obviously, this is not a lineup for you to play. I'm recording this video on Monday afternoon. Things are going to change from Monday to Sunday, so do not play this lineup. This video is more about me going through the process of building a lineup to start the week off and how I build my lineups, just what I think while I build lineups. Seeing how I downgraded at positions to fit in guys I wanted. I really like Sanu in that price range, so I look to downgrade a defense because that's usually one of the spots. If I want to downgrade, I usually try and go to defense. Just because defense is so hard to predict, you can always find cheap defenses that have really good games. So this definitely looks like a solid lineup to start the week off. Obviously, this is not the lineup that I'm going to be playing on Sunday. We're going to get news throughout the week. Things are going to change. But this is a good lineup to start the week off, a good dummy lineup to start off with. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop a like on the video. Be sure to subscribe if you are new. If this is your first time watching a video on my channel, thank you so much for clicking on the vid. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys sort of enjoyed this lineup build, the process or whatever, just make sure you let me know down in the comments. We'll definitely do this from now on if you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I know Al Smizzle does this. He does these same type of videos. Not trying to copy his idea by any means. All credit goes to him. He was the guy that I got this idea from. So make sure you check out Al Smizzle if you haven't already. He makes great fantasy football content. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the vid. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out my full picks video on Thursday where I go through each position and talk about the players that I'm looking to target in my lineups. That video will go up on Thursday. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and good luck this week. Peace.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, she shaking fast. Yeah, she dropping slow. What? Yeah, neck on fro. Whoa, 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 whoa.